Hey everybody, today is Friday, December 8th. Another day in Taipei. Beautiful morning. Fully rested. I was so exhausted yesterday from last night's flight. But now we're gonna get some lunch. Let's go. Okay, so we're right now waiting in front of the bus stop. So you can find your bus stop numbers here, 74, 521, 685. So pretty much we're just waiting here for bus 74 in order to head to our lunch spot. So for today's lunch spot, we're heading to the Aquatic Development Center, which is like a big seafood fish market spot in Taiwan. So I've been to Tsukiji, I've been to Noryangjin. Excited to go to this fish market here to get some fresh seafood, and then we're gonna taste the local cuisine that they have here. Hopefully they have some unique fish that is only local to Taiwan that I'll get to try. Alright, here's our bus number 74. So there's English on the front. You can see the bus number too as well. Fairly simple. So we're gonna use our Easy card in order to scan to get on the bus. So this one's a little bit different from Japan and Korea. So you get on the bus first, and then you scan your Easy card once you're getting off towards your stop. So just a slight difference. If you're getting off your stop, you can hit this blue button right here, and then it'll light up red so you can get off of your next stop. So at the top you can definitely see it's in English too for your stop, and they announce it, so no worries about that. And then we just have to scan here. Alright, we're good. Alright, where we're at currently is Taipei Fish Market, and we're also going to be heading towards the Addiction Aquatic Development. So both centers are two big fish markets here in Taiwan, so we're going to explore through and then try to get some fresh seafood. And here's the Addiction Aquatic Development. So both places are fairly new and remodeled from what I'm seeing. So this place is fairly huge. Goes all the way around the market. On the right side was probably Taipei Fish Market, unless it's not shown here and the area is just still on the right, but we'll go through both today. When you enter the main entrance to the Addiction Aquatic Development Center, most likely you're going to be walking towards the aquarium section, which is going to be on the left hand side. And here's where you're going to see giant tanks that's filled with all their live seafood, such as live lobsters to huge abalone to hairy crab, and also their largest creature here, the king crab. And maybe a little bit hard to see because of all the bubbles, but I'll show you later on in the video of how big it is. Okay, here's a translated area of the map here at the Addiction Aquatic Development Center. So they have a variety here: B2B counter, cooking services, bento hot pot, fruit, oysters, seafood bar, sushi bar, cooked gourmet, and a supermarket. So we're currently waiting at the seafood bar section to get a table, and from the looks of it on their menu, you can get a couple of donburi bowls, which is fish and rice, and you can also get some sashimi sets and also shellfish. As I was escorted to my standing table, I saw this amazing spread right in front of me of king crab, African lobster, hairy crab, brown crab, and all these different types of crustaceans. I really wanted to try everything, but I had to narrow down my choices. So what they give you here is your plate. This is for soy sauce. This is your bucket for shells, scissors if you need it. And I think this is used to take out crab meat. We're gonna get a couple things here at this market, but the first thing I'm gonna get here is the spotted prawn. So I had a huge craving for this when I saw it on the menu, since I had this in Japan and it was so good. Alright, gonna take a bite into my prawn. Oh, the prawn's really good. Sweet, creamy, tender. Oh, nice. Also, don't forget the head. So I wanted to try some local seafood here. So our second dish is the Taiwanese crab that's steamed and served on ice. And on the side of it, they give you a slice of lime. And at this moment, this is when I realized that it's actually impossible to eat crab properly with one hand while trying to record yourself with the other. So personally for me, I didn't really enjoy the Taiwanese crab that much. For me, it was very bland and it wasn't sweet at all. I really expected it to be as sweet as blue crab, but it wasn't. And I didn't enjoy it that much, so I tried to squeeze some lime on it to see if I would like it better, but unfortunately I didn't like it that much. So I don't know if it was just the luck of the draw of having a bad crab, because that's definitely a possibility, getting a bad crab. And I don't know if it's just because that this crab didn't have the best diet or lived in the saltiest water, but I gave it another shot and I had a second Taiwanese crab and I had the same experience. So we were at the seafood bar earlier, but now we're at the sushi bar, so we're just gonna wait here in line in order to eat here. Similar to the seafood bar, you'll also have to stand at the sushi bar as well, but if you're lucky enough, you might be put in front of a chef preparing all the dishes. From where I was standing, I was able to see the chef prepare one giant big pot of soup and also a whole bunch of different finished dishes as well, such as these scallops that had broth poured on them and it looks like they were going to be grilled at the table. And I also saw this huge king crab leg with a wedge of lime. And also, if you don't like seafood, they also have some meat options. So I saw some grilled meat that was on a skewer and also some steak. We're gonna do a taste test. I know we just came from Japan, but we'll do a taste test over here on their fish market. Okay, so here's sashimi and here's sushi, and it's ordered by piece. Let's see. All of these look like I've eaten them before already. I'm gonna get swordfish. This is new. I'll try their snapper. Gotta try tuna. And then we'll get one piece of otoro just to try. Starting from the front is our tuna nigiri, in the middle is our salmon nigiri, and in the back is our swordfish nigiri with a side of ginger. I'm gonna take a bite. Tuna's really good. For the most part, I asked them where they got it. They said it's from Japan, but I had to try at least a piece of tuna here. Here we have is our swordfish. That swordfish was really good, but I have nothing to compare to, seeing how I don't eat swordfish often, one. And two is, it's pretty rare to find swordfish in the States where it's offered as nigiri or sashimi, but for the most part it's really good here. It's kind of tastes like a flounder or a halibut type of fish, but it's pretty sweet with the sauce, with that tiny little topping that they added, so it has a little sweetness to it. Here's our salmon belly. Oh, the salmon belly is really fatty, melts in your mouth. Oh, so good. So far I'm pretty impressed by the sushi sashimi here. Very good here. And for the prices of each piece that I've gotten so far, it's probably about $1.20 in the US. So fairly affordable for piece-by-piece sushi, similar to Japan's pricing as well. So here's our sweet prawn. We got two of them. Piece of CHUTORO. This one's salmon, and this one is our salmon belly. You can tell this one's more of the salmon belly than regular salmon from the fat marbling. It's like super thick white lines from the fat. Alright, we're gonna try sweet prawn. Do some dissection. Both prawns are really delicious, especially after coming from Japan where I had a similar dish. So for the texture of it, it's very tender, very soft and creamy, while for the taste of it, it's very sweet. Also, don't forget about the prawn head. So if you suck on it, there's tons of guts inside, and it's very soft, very creamy and rich, and it's jam-packed full of flavors. So we're going to take a look at our sashimi pieces, and they give you a massive big cut of salmon. So this salmon is about 1/4 of an inch thick. It's pretty huge. And our other piece of sashimi is going to be our salmon belly, and you can tell how fatty it is by looking at those big thick white lines on it, and it looks so good. The salmon and the salmon belly were absolutely delicious. I didn't realize how fatty it was going to be until it actually hit my tongue. So I already knew it was pretty fatty, but once it hit my tongue, the salmon kind of just melted and everything was great. And on top of it, the portion sizes were humongous. So the final piece of sashimi is going to be the CHUTORO from the bluefin tuna. And originally I wanted otoro, but they didn't have any otoro, so I opted for CHUTORO instead, which is the medium fatty tuna instead of the really fatty part of the tuna. Once I put this piece of CHUTORO in my mouth, the fat immediately started to melt, and it was definitely amazing. It was very rich, oily, fatty, and I enjoyed all those flavors. And when I inquired about where the bluefin came from, they told me that it came from Spain. So the damage done was $308. This is in new Taiwan dollars, so it's about $10 US. Pricing here is fairly reasonable for the amount that I ate. Like, you get some really good sushi here, sashimi, for the most part generous cuts, and it's really good. For the most part, I've already been to Japan, I've been to Taipei. Pretty impressed by both markets. So if you have a chance, stop by the market, get some fresh seafood. If you don't have time in order to eat at the Addiction Aquatic Center, well, don't worry about it too much because there's tons of food items here that are already prepped that you can purchase, and also tons of fruits and produce as well. So we'll browse a bit of what you can purchase here at the Addiction Aquatic Development Center. So they also have hot food here that you can buy. Various meats, salmon. Yeah, this is salmon that's like broiled. This is like a beef stew right here. I see carrots, tendon, pretty big cuts of beef. Oh, it's English translation, so I don't have to guess. So here they also have packs to go. So here's oysters. Wow, oysters are fairly expensive here. $10 for 3. So these are fairly large oysters, but I don't think it might be worth it for $10. Oh, they have sashimi nigiri here that you can buy. It's about $11 a box, which is a good price. But if you want a bigger bang for your buck, I guess you can always get one of these platters here that are pretty much filled to the top. You get salmon here, and I'm not sure what this side is. These sashimi slices are pretty big for $10. Super thick cuts. And here, of course, is uni. We'll pull out a pack. So this pack of uni is about 20 something US, but it has a variety of different color uni. This looks like a salmon shirashi bowl. Looks pretty good. $10 for a bowl. If seafood isn't your thing, they also sell a variety of meat dishes as well, and one of them I saw kind of resembled a kimbap, where it was a roll that was filled with rice, egg, mushrooms, cucumbers, and meat. They also have a butcher shop here as well, selling high quality USDA prime beef, and they have a variety of cuts here, including some interesting cuts, such as a whole cow's tongue that's been vacuum sealed. So we just finished eating and browsing through the Addiction Aquatic Development Center, and now we're outside in the middle of the area. And right in the middle here is a restaurant where you can sit down and order food, and in the right hand side is the Taipei Fish Market. So right before you enter the Taipei Fish Market entrance into the building, there's going to be a whole bunch of tanks on the outside. It has a whole bunch of fresh and live seafood. So there's a variety of things such as shrimp and prawns, huge abalone, also some live spiny-tailed lobsters, and there was also a couple other things such as hairy crab and also king crab. So we just entered the Taipei Fish Market building on the right hand side, and as you can see, there isn't really that much to do here. So it's not a very big store, first of all, and also it's primarily what they're selling here is frozen seafood. So as a tourist myself, I probably wouldn't be buying a whole bunch of frozen seafood, so I'll stick around the Addiction Aquatic Development Center side so I can try out a whole bunch of things there and also buy groceries. And that pretty much covers the Addiction Aquatic Development Center and the Taipei Fish Market. So if you're a seafood lover, be sure to visit here. But we're going to be heading on to our next destination in the next video, which is the Rauhu Street Night Market. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, click down that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys for another day in Taipei.